The knock came just after midnight. Soft at first. Then again, louder, desperate. Daniel hesitated. His little daughter, Lily, stirred in her sleep on the couch beside him. The old clock on the wall ticked between them and the silence. He wasn't expecting anyone. Not at this hour. Not in this storm. When he finally opened the door, two soaked figures stood trembling on his porch, a woman clutching a small boy in her arms. Her lips quivered as she whispered, "Please, we just need shelter tonight." Before the story unfolds, if this moment has already touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness, because sometimes all it takes is one act of compassion to change a life. Daniel's first instinct was caution. He had learned to be careful. Since his wife passed 2 years ago, the world hadn't been kind. Raising Lily alone had made him both softer and harder. Soft for her, hard for everything else. But when he looked at the woman, her clothes drenched, her son's tiny hands gripping her coat, he couldn't turn them away. He stepped aside silently. "Come in," he said. The woman hesitated, as if unsure whether to trust him, but the thunder outside made her choice for her. They entered. The warmth of the small home wrapped around them. Daniel handed them towels. The little boy, no older than 5, looked around curiously. His eyes stopped at the photo on the shelf, a picture of Lily with her mother. "You can sit by the fire," Daniel said, moving some wood around to keep it burning. "Thank you," the woman whispered. "My name is Claire. This is Noah." He nodded. "Daniel. And that's my daughter, Lily. She's asleep." As the night deepened, Daniel learned pieces of their story. They had been traveling for days, escaping a violent home. Her husband's temper had turned cruel. One night, he struck her in front of Noah. That was the night she ran. She had hoped to reach her sister in another city, but her car broke down miles back. She had no one else to turn to, nowhere else to go. Daniel listened quietly. Every word reminded him of his own pain, the night his wife, Sarah, lost her fight with cancer. He had felt just as helpless, just as lost. The rain beat harder against the roof. "Thank you for letting us in," Claire said softly. Daniel just nodded again. No one deserves to be out there tonight. The next morning, the world outside was washed clean. Lily woke up first and found Noah sitting near the fire, playing with one of her stuffed animals. She smiled shyly. Within minutes, the two children were laughing like old friends, as if pain had no place in their world. Daniel watched them from the kitchen, the sound of their laughter filling his empty house with something it hadn't felt in a long time. Life. Claire helped him with breakfast, though she insisted she couldn't stay long. "We'll leave once the rain clears. I don't want to be a burden." "You're not," Daniel said, "but maybe wait until the roads are safe." She nodded, grateful. Days turned into weeks. Claire and Noah stayed, helping Daniel around the house. Lily and Noah became inseparable, building forts, sharing stories, reminding the adults what joy looked like. But the peace was fragile. One evening, a car pulled up outside, loud engine, headlights cutting through the night. Claire froze. Daniel saw fear in her eyes before he even opened the door. It was her husband. He stormed in, shouting her name. "Claire, you think you can just run away?" Noah hid behind Lily. Daniel stepped forward, his voice steady. "You need to leave, now." The man sneered. "This isn't your business." "It is," Daniel said, "because they're under my roof." The tension was thick. Claire's husband raised his hand, but before anything could happen, Daniel's old friend, Sheriff McCain, pulled up outside. He had been called earlier by a neighbor who saw the car. Minutes later, the man was in handcuffs. Claire stood trembling, tears streaming down her face. Daniel turned to her gently. "It's over." That night, when everything quieted again, Claire sat by the fire. "Why did you help us?" she asked. Daniel smiled faintly. "Because someone once helped me when I had nowhere to go. Maybe it's my turn to return that kindness." Months passed. Claire found a small job in town, started saving for her own place. Noah started school, the same one Lily attended. Every morning, Daniel would watch the two of them walking down the road. Backpack swinging, laughing like sunlight. He didn't say it out loud, but his heart felt full again. Claire often helped him with dinner, and sometimes they would talk long after the kids went to bed about loss, fear, and the strange way broken hearts find each other. One evening, as the first snow fell outside, Claire said quietly, "Do you ever think some people cross our paths because we're meant to heal together?" Daniel looked at her and nodded. "I think that's exactly what happens." The story could have ended there, simple, soft, and complete. But life had one more test. One winter morning, Claire slipped on the ice while walking to work. She broke her leg badly. She was hospitalized for weeks. Daniel took care of Noah and visited her every day, reading to her, keeping her spirits up. And when she finally came home, he had decorated the house with lights, the same house where she'd once begged for shelter. Claire cried when she saw it. "You didn't have to do this." "I did," he said, "because this isn't just my house anymore. It's our home." Years later, when people in town talked about Daniel and Claire, they didn't talk about how they met. They talked about how they rebuilt each other's lives. How one night, when everything seemed lost, a simple act of kindness opened the door to something bigger, a family born not of blood, but of compassion. So if this story touched your heart, please like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Tell us, have you ever seen kindness change a life? And don't forget to subscribe to Whispers of Kindness for more real and heartwarming stories that remind us, even in the darkest storms, a single open door can bring light back into the world. Moral: kindness doesn't need a reason. Sometimes it just needs a moment, a knock on the door, a trembling voice, and a heart willing to say, "Come in."